This is hashtag Surviving Alzheimer's, a caregiver's podcast based on the book Surviving Alzheimer's with friends, Facebook, and a really big glass of wine. I'm Dana Steele, and I lost my mom, Fran Nicholson, to Alzheimer's. Now I share stories from other caregivers and the experts who help us through this crazy journey. This podcast is brought to you in part by the book Surviving Alzheimer's with friends, Facebook, and a really big glass of wine. When Mom was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, I posted it on Facebook. What started as a way to let friends and family know Mom had Alzheimer's turned into a support system for me, and from that turned into a support system and a community. The first half of the book is the Facebook post, and that's to give people a sense of you're not alone. There's no right, there's no wrong. It's okay to laugh at inappropriate things. It's okay to cry. It's okay to say bad words, drink wine, and throw things. The other half of the book is very important resources for caregivers. The one thing I want you to take away is you never know. Love your family. Love everyone. Take every adventure. Do everything, but also make sure you have everything ready to go and you're organized in the background so that when all is said and done, you have lived today. I wish I had known. And if I wish I had known, I think there's other people that wish they could know what's coming next. Surviving Alzheimer's with friends, Facebook, and a really big glass of wine is available at Amazon in paperback and Kindle versions. And now, back to the podcast, Surviving Alzheimer's with Dana Steele. If you're new to hashtag Surviving Alzheimer's, I not only speak to experts, everything from the legal documents. There's so much paperwork you have to have in order. I also talk to, people about living arrangements. There's just so many experts, a neurologist, but I think I get more from just real life people like you and me who've gone through it, are going through it, maybe getting ready to go through it. And joining me right now is one of those real life people, a real life friend from Facebook, Veronica Watts. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Still recovering from doing the play, but it was very successful, and just
Awesome.
trying to figure out what's next as I continue this love letter to caregivers. But tell me your story. Where are you in this journey?
Oh gosh. So I've had two grandmothers unfortunately succumb to their journeys, and it really led me to working in hospice and helping baby boomers my age or above, kind of deal with how to guide their parents the right way. I get a lot of messages from neighbors. Hey, do you know anything about such and such nursing home or such and such facility? Mom's getting to that age and we need help. And I try to always use either my experience in the workplace or my experience with my own family members and friends to try to help guide them. Like, this is what I know about this place, and this is what I know about this place. And I get a lot of thank yous for being honest, which saddens me. It makes me happy, but it also saddens me. Why am I the only one being honest? Why aren't we all saying the good, the bad, and the ugly to all of
Yeah.
our friends?
I mean, I wish people had done that with me. I was really fortunate
Right?
that, the first place Mom was, she was upstairs and then she was downstairs with more care at Regal Estates. They, at the time,
Yeah,
I don't know what they're like now, but they were fantastic then.
they still are.
Oh, wonderful. And then she was
Yes.
in the last two places she lived, move number 5 and move number 6. She was in private care homes run by one woman with incredible staffs who actually bothered to read the bios. And, I'd come in and they'd have Mom parked in front of a tennis match, which just very little things made her happy at that point, but that did. But it was the one in the
Right.
middle that was just, I'd come and find her with cuts on her arms. I'd find bloody hands. I'd find feces on her feet. I'm like, what is going on? And, it was only later on, Veronica, that people would say to me, oh, yeah, we had a horrible experience there too. It's like, well, you should have
Yeah.
told me.
Yeah.
What are some of the red flags? I mean, because you were in and out of you are in and out of these facilities. What can you come up with a couple of red flags? Because I get these questions too. I'm starting to look for a place for Mom, or I've got to move Mom into more care, or Dad into more care, or my husband, my wife, whatever. What are the red flags you tell people to look for?
Okay, so there's a few things. The one main thing I always tell my family members when I'm talking to them is do a pop by visit on a Sunday afternoon between 1:50 p.m. and 2:15 p.m. Shift change is always at 2 p.m. And a Saturday or a Sunday is when you're going to smell the smells. You're going to see the lack of care. You're going to see the socializing, and you're going to see the patient getting ignored for at least 30 minutes. If you don't see that, you're gold. You've got your green flags. If you do, which 9 times out of 10 you do, there's your first red flag. I always tell them to read the Google reviews. Read them. And don't pay attention to the facility's responses. Only read the family members' reviews. Don't read the employees' reviews about what an amazing place it is to work. They get paid for that crap. And don't let them tell you otherwise. So read the bad reviews, read the good reviews from the family members, but just read them. Also, reach out on Facebook. Like, I get a lot of my neighbors reaching out going, who knows something about this nursing home and this nursing home? We'll be honest with you. Hopefully there's more, like I said, there's more honest people. There's got to be. I know I'm not the only one. So the reviews, the pop bys at 2 p.m. and the state website, the like nursing home compare.gov. You can do that through the Medicare website and you will see their star ratings. What happens when state does their pop-ups to the building? Are they getting shut down for a week because they put a patient in immediate jeopardy? We call that an IJ. Do they have quality care, low star rating? That means that they're not documenting or charting correctly. And if it happened, but it's not written down, guess what? It didn't happen. So there's those little things, and those are within our grasp. We can do those things as consumers. We can do pop-ins. These are not closed buildings, and we can look online and we can read. That's all I say. And
Well, let's go
helps,
back to something you
believe
just
me.
touched on, because of course it's what helped me for 2.5 years. And that is don't overlook the hive mind and the hive mind information you can gather on Facebook. Facebook
Yeah,
is a neighborhood. Facebook is the new front porch. Yes, there's a couple little nasty neighbors that yell things at you as they go past. But other than
yeah.
that, your Facebook, profile, your personal profile should be just your friends. Now, granted, I have 5,000 on mine, but
All close friends.
yeah, yeah. You get pissy on my Facebook profile, my personal one. Believe me, you get blocked. You're not a friend anymore.
Right.
Um, but yeah, never ever underestimate the Facebook hive mind. And don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to speak up. Ask. And you're right,
Yeah,
people will speak up and help you.
yeah.
What is your official title? What is your official job? What do you do, Veronica, on a daily basis?
I work in hospice and I work for a great company, local family owned called Absolute Hospice. And I guess my job title is field administrator. And I pretty much just help families navigate growing old, being protected, not getting taken advantage of, you name it. I've been in this industry for about 20 years in this area. So I have a lot of resources and I'm able to really help guide them through the BS of growing old.
What does it cost if somebody wants to use a service like yours?
It's covered by Medicare at 100%.
There you go. Now
Yeah.
explain hospice, because I know when I first was told it's it's time for you to start looking at hospice, or at least start, getting your ducks in a row and deciding what you're going to do. And they gave me a couple of companies. They gave me Lightheart gave me the company they liked working with best. And the person they sent, come to find out, had been following my journey for 2.5 years on Facebook, so
Oh,
knew everything I had
I
been
love
through.
that.
Oh, it was very scary to me to call hospice, and it's scary for most families because it sounds like, well, we're giving up, mom's going to die. Well, you know what? We're all going to die at some point.
Right.
And I cannot tell people enough the what hospice did for us. It was an incredibly sweet and kind and easy and gentle process at a horrible, horrible point in the journey where you know
Right.
that she's getting ready to go.
Yeah.
Um, I remember my hospice person asking me because mom was sitting right there. She said, you know, would you like to talk about this later? Would you like to wait until, you know, she goes to have her meal or whatever? And I was like, no, because I know somewhere in there in the deep, you know, in my brain, I'm still in her brain somewhere deep in the recesses.
Yeah.
And I want her to be a part of this whole process and to know that I care. I cared enough to make this as easy and gentle as possible.
Right.
And so I try to tell people all the time that hospice was made it easy, made it easier. Didn't make it easy. It made it easier and it
Yeah.
made it sweeter and more gentle. How do you explain hospice to people?
Gosh, in one word, compassion. Hospice is having the compassion to let our loved one go with dignity, comfort, and peace. Um, a lot of people are afraid of the word hospice. When it comes to dementia and Alzheimer's, because those are two completely different things, and a lot of people don't know that. With dementia and Alzheimer's, hospice wants to try to get in there sooner rather than later in the process so that we are familiar with the journey, with the family. We become that extended family and we're not scrambling at the end to give that comfort, right? Sometimes death can come very quickly. Sometimes death creeps around for a few weeks, disappears, and then comes back again. We call that a rally. Um, and it never gets easy, even though I see death in its different forms every day. And it never gets easy for the families because it's their first time with that person's death, right? So we want to be able to know you well enough to comfort you. We want to give quality, not quantity, for those final days, whether it's 2 days, 2 months, 2 years. A lot of people think hospice means mom's going to die or dad's going to die in 3 days, but that's not up to us. It's up to that person's spirit, to their deity of choice. It's up to whatever that may be for that family member, and we want to make that journey as beautiful as possible. Listen, I know what a blessing it is for me to be a part of that journey for someone. You are letting me into your final journey. What? Wow. Okay. What can I do to make it good for you or to make it what you want? You get to design what that final journey is going to look like. You're writing that chapter, baby. Let me just hold your hands through it. And to be able to do that is a blessing. It is the biggest gift the universe has ever given me in my life. And, you know, I want that stigma around hospice to go away so bad. When you say things like it made it so wonderful for you to be a part of with your mom, it so warms my soul to hear that, because I have patients and family members fight it every day. Oh, no, no. Dad's 96. His dementia's not bad. We can cure him. What?
No, you can't. No, you can't.
No,
You
you
know,
can't.
it was the
Oh,
last nice thing I could do for my mom. I questioned
yeah.
myself. I still question myself to this day. Did I do the right thing on a lot of
God,
different things,
yeah.
drugs, where she lived, all of that. But the thing I have never questioned was calling in hospice,
Good.
because it was the final best thing. I think my
Absolutely.
mom purposely died at, 4 o'clock in the morning, so I wouldn't be there. Um,
Probably. And I used to watch your videos with her, and
yeah.
they were fantastic. She loved her jewelry, my God.
Oh,
And yeah,
most
yeah,
definitely. But I think she did not want me there. Which was interesting
yeah.
because, prior to Alzheimer's, she and I had talked about it. I was actually with my father-in-law, all of us were when he passed. And that was the first time I'd ever seen a human being die. And I tried to explain to people that it was so special and it was so um, quiet and kind. And it's like you said, I was honored to be there when Dr. Charlie passed and, be holding his
Mhm.
hand as he left us. And it was so not sad and violent. And everything we think, we're all so scared of death. Everybody's scared of death. You know what? Unless you found a way, Buddha and Jesus apparently found a way out, but nobody else.
Oh, I know.
So, you're not
Yeah,
going to find your
right,
way out. So
right,
talk
exactly.
about it,
You
have
know,
plans, know you're going to do this
yeah,
thing.
it's so weird to me. My mother was diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic melanoma cancer. Get this, 11 years ago. And she's still kicking to this day. And Jesus and marijuana are keeping her going, according to her. And I love it. But you know what she said to me once, and it's so poignant in my business and in life. She said to me, like it rolled off her tongue like butter. Death is for the living. And I had to sit there and just think about it for a minute. Like, you're right. Wait a minute. When you're dead, you're dead. You don't experience the death. You're just gone. I'm living. I'm going to be the one dealing with the death. Death is for the living. And such a simple little thing made such a huge impact on how I deal with death, because I will tell you this, I have to separate myself from the dying emotionally and physically daily so that I don't come home a crying mess every day. But with my own mother, oh my gosh, what am I doing, right? I'm an idiot. I don't know how to do this. And that's when she said, death is for the living. I don't care how you handle my day. You do what you got to do. But death is for the living, Veronica. And I remember thinking, wow, all right. It takes away some of the sorrow for her, or the regret, I think, or the wondering if, did I do this right or that right, or would she have been okay with that? She doesn't care, right? It's for me to care. It's for me to wonder. So that helps me really let go of any fears of regret I may have when my mom finally does pass. But I will tell you, she's Italian and she'll probably outlive me just to spite me. So
Just out
I'm
of
not too
spite,
worried about it.
you
Yeah.
gotta love a nonna, an Italian mama. So,
Yes. Yes.
final words of advice that you live by, or that you would give someone that hears this and thinks, okay, it's time.
Let us help you. Don't be afraid of help. Let us help you. We're all out here to, get what our elderly are entitled to, what they worked so hard their whole life for, which is just a little bit of peace. Let us help you get some peace for your loved one, for yourself. Like you said, Dana, it's going to happen. We're all going to die at some point. Let's not fight it, and let's just have some quality and peace. And we're all here to help each other feel that love.
Hashtag Surviving Alzheimer's is produced by JFA Inc. and Blue Squirrel Productions, copyright 2024. Executive producer, Dana Steele. Original music written and performed by Calvin Adams. The book, Surviving Alzheimer's, with Friends, Facebook, and a really big glass of wine, is available in paperback and Kindle on Amazon.com. For more information, visit thewomaninthemirrorplay.com.